Hey guys, Red Llama here. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about GPUs and what to do with them when the bear market comes. And this video is just going to be more of like different options that I have thought of. But please feel free to add to this by leaving comments down below. And other video creators, if they see this, please go ahead and make your own version of this video. I think it's something that people should start planning. It may be a couple weeks, couple months, maybe a couple years until the bear market comes, but I think this is a topic that most people should start considering. I think everyone has all the new miners, old miners. We've all been accumulating more GPUs, more hardware, and I just want to just make sure everyone's aware of what their plan is. Again, this falls back on making sure you have a plan. We should start planning. So just to take a look at the history. So this is a graph of Bitcoin. It's on a log scale. It's a little bit easier to identify the bear markets. The first bull market was like 845 days, and then it started going into a bear market, and that lasted about a year. And then the next bull was 192 days. The one after that was 407 days. So right now we're in 2022. We don't know exactly when the bear market will hit. Some people are saying we're seeing it now. Some are saying it's going to be later. What to do with your GPUs? And what I had done was I put a list of scenarios. Again, I recommend anyone who's watching this put any comments down below of what you're thinking of doing, because this is really open discussion. We don't know when the bear market's going to be here, and just a few things I think factors to consider. Debt to income ratio, that's a key one. Basically, if you have a lot of money into the cards and you don't have enough money to support those cards if profitability is reduced significantly, the efficiency is another key factor here, but I think this is something we'll dive deeper into later in here. What is left to pay off the equipment? Basically, this is GPUs, stands, like all the other equipment that it comes with GPU mining, even ASICs or whatever else we're using to mine. When the bear market comes, the used market is going to be huge, and we don't know what type of market that's going to be. Is it going to be a buyer's market, or is it going to be a seller's market during the used market? We are seeing a used market, and it's mostly a seller's market. So these sellers are coming in, selling these GPUs at a really high price because there's huge demand and there's not enough supply. And then we're seeing the same thing with manufacturers too. They're upping their price by like $100, $200 on GPUs. Profitability is another key factor to consider when the bear market hits. So these are just some of the key factors I believe you guys have to consider, and there probably is more. Option one, sell everything, sell all the GPUs, and then decide whether to come back into mining after the bear market or to just completely stop mining. That's completely up to you guys on how you want to do that. So there is pros and cons. So the first pro I'll go into is selling your GPUs for maximum profit, because this is a seller's market at this point. You will be able to get your quite a bit of money for these GPUs if you sell them now, and you'll be able to reduce your power consumption bills because you sold off your GPUs, your mining equipment. You don't have to maintain your rigs because you don't have any rigs. So these are some of the pros. I'm sure there's more that could be added here, but there's always going to be cons to this if you go ahead and just sell your GPUs. Some of the cons would be there's no way to determine when will be a buyer's market. All right, so yes, let's say a bear market comes in, the used market increases, but you don't know exactly when it's going to become a buyer's market where there's going to be a flood of GPUs and it's just so much supply that no one, like, you could just go out there and buy any used one. It could happen, but with the supply chain issues, I don't think this is going to work out well in the long run. It's going to be really hard to determine when it's going to be a buyer's market for this. Another thing to consider too is, let's say the bear market comes, the used market is huge, and it's a buyer's market. These more efficient cards, like the 3060 Ti's and the A2000s and anything else that's really efficient, they're going to be the first ones to be bought up by miners. So I think, yes, it's going to be a used market, but I think those cards are going to be really sought after from the miners. That is basically option one. Option one, sell everything. Sell your GPUs. Option two, hold your GPUs. Hold on to it during the bear market. The pros to this is when you hold on to your GPUs, you know the history of your GPUs and they're not used and abused. You know they're in good condition. You can continue to mine with them. You don't have to take down a rig too. Yes, your profitability will be down, but you'll be able to gather more of those coins before it starts to pick up in the next bull market. But again, we don't know when that bull market's gonna be. Like how long would this bear market would last? So these are just some of the pros to holding your GPUs. There is going to be some cons to it. So profitability will be decreasing. If you're one of those people who are just barely profitable on some of your GPUs and you have to sell off when the bear market comes, that is going to be harder to do. If you owe on your cards, the ROI is going to be longer to pay them off. So this is another thing to consider. And your power consumption. You're gonna be using all this power for these coins, but then you don't have anything to show for it, so you're still gonna be paying quite a bit for power. And then I guess option three would be a combination of the two. First, sell off the low efficient GPUs like the 1390s and any other card that's really high in power with a lower hash rate to it. When you sell off those GPUs, the low efficient GPUs, then go in and start buying the more efficient GPUs when the used market starts getting flooded in. These are some strategies that could be used for the used market when this hits. So there's going to be pros and cons again for this option. Trading low efficiency cards for higher GPU efficient cards is, possible cash too is going to be a pro. I mean, when you're going to have better efficiency on your GPU mining, you're going to have lower power consumption and you're going to have increased profitability when the bull market comes back. If it comes back or if it takes an extended amount of time. So these are just some of the pros. I'm sure there might be more, but some of the cons to this stuff too is the timing. You don't know exactly when to sell and when to buy. This is going to be really difficult to determine when to do this. You might it might be too early to do it, and you're just stuck with no cards, or you buy the card when the prices are still going down lower. So there's really no way to determine when is the best time to do this. And obviously, the more efficient GPUs will be the ones that are in demand by miners right away. And another thing that's a con would be that your GPU mining will be stopped, and you won't be able to mine any coins during this time. So these are just some of the things I was thinking about. I know some other content creators would probably elaborate this more than I would because I'm still pretty new to this. Within the past year, I just started mining. So uh, again, I appreciate if any other content creators would take this and expand it even further with their history and their knowledge because again, this is coming from a noob uh, point of view, and I definitely want to see if there's anyone else who wants to contribute to this kind of topic because I believe it's something that people should consider or start planning for early on before it happens. Because if you're one of those people that are just going in and buying GPUs, buying, and not even considering there might be a bear market coming soon, then you could be in a big hurt later on. So yeah, again, I just want to highlight this for those type of people. Even like myself, I'm holding the cards that I currently have. I don't really plan to sell anything. If I do, it's probably gonna be the more power hungry cards for more efficient cards. But again, I don't know when that's going to be, and it all depends on the market, profitability, power consumption, and the used market. There's so many variables to consider, but I think people should start considering those now. All right, guys, so that's the end of this video, but please leave a comment, question down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And I'm sorry, but this is not really a hot topic, I think, at this point, but I think it's something we should talk about. All right, so thanks, guys. See ya.